Hey guys, some of you would have seen videos that we made previously showing Buddhist temples. We've done lots of videos showing Buddhist temples in Japan, lots of videos showing Shinto shrines in Japan. We showed various ceremonies, different ceremonies going on, Buddhist ceremonies, Shinto ceremonies. We've talked about different ceremonies that happen here as regards to kids and things. We made a video showing people how to do the cleansing thing that's done at the shrines here when you go into the shrine, washing your hands and your mouth and that sort of thing. We've also shown examples of how Japanese people react to Christmas. Recently we had a video that included something about Easter. There's not much goes on with Easter here, but a little bit of something about Easter. But we've done lots of stories about Christmas, Kurisumasu. We've reported on that a few times over the years, talking about Christmas. So we've sort of covered all sorts of stuff. We did on the interview playlist, we did a question asking Japanese people if they're religious or not. So we've touched on religion-related subjects quite a lot over the last 2,800 videos. So a few weeks ago, we spotted a prayer room in a shopping centre, and we did a story about that. And it was sort of for anybody that could use it, anybody could use it that wanted to, but it was sort of aimed at Muslim people. You could tell by the way it was set up. Those of you who saw the video would know what we're talking about there. And the reaction to that video was absolutely incredible. I had no idea we'd get that sort of reaction. Suspected we might get a small minority of people leaving some probably not so kind comments or something, but it was amazing. Sort of disappointing in a way. And then a couple of weeks later, there was a story reported on the press in Japan about the YKK zip company and about how they'd started serving halal food in one of their cafeterias. And we don't stop and decide whether we like something or not before we report on it. We just report on stuff. And those of you who have seen a number of our 2,800 videos would have seen all sorts of videos on all sorts of topics. And whether we like that particular aspect of Japan or not doesn't really matter to us. We just report on what we see and what we hear. And we try to keep the reporting as factual and as keep opinions out of it as much as possible. Basically try to stick to straight out showing you things or observations where we're actually telling you what we've observed, the results of different behavior or what we've seen people do, different behaviors that we've observed in Japan. And we try to keep to that. We try not to let any opinions come into our videos at all. But again, the second video that was related to Islam, basically, was the one about the halal food, and that got a similar reaction. And amazingly, we had death threats. There was people calling us terrorists. Now, if you haven't seen those two videos, have a look. They're only a week or so old, so they're easy to find on our video playlist. All we did was show what we saw. That's all we did. There was people calling us terrorists. There was people threatening us, giving us death threats. There was all sorts of amazing, aggressive responses to it. Aggressive towards us for making the video, which is sort of incredible, really. Didn't sort of expect personal attacks on us for making the video. We expected we'd get some bigoted type responses, but not aimed at us. And then lots of people unsubscribed from our channel, and some people withdrew their support from Patreon, where they were supporting us on Patreon. And those of you who don't know, Patreon is where some people are paying a certain amount a month for us to continue making videos. Because just briefly, we have a family to support, and the amount of time that we put into making videos, we put a couple of hours a day into our YouTube channel and making videos. And if it wasn't for those people supporting us on Patreon with those their monthly donations on Patreon, then we wouldn't be able to spend the time making the videos that we do, and we'd have to stop making them. So it's only because of that support on Patreon we continue making the videos. So it does actually hurt when people cancel their patronage because they disagree with us making a video on a particular topic. And of course, we can't let that sway our. We can't not make videos about topics because we're worried that people are going to get upset for showing it. And we've had this before, where we've covered other topics that we suspected people wouldn't like. You know, we've covered topics about child pornography and about sort of delicate subjects like that. But our goal is to show anything and everything about Japan. That's our goal, and that's all we try and do. So when we see something or hear something, or a topic comes up, occasionally someone suggests a topic to us that we think people might be interested in, and we'll cover that topic. And that's all we're doing. So to have people, and one of our hesitations when we first started using Patreon was we didn't want to sell out. We didn't want the videos we make to be influenced by the people who are supporting us. So, and we're dead set about that. We don't want to sell out. We don't want to have our judgment clouded by money, basically. So the purpose of this video is two things. First of all, one of our patrons actually asked to talk about this because he had noticed what was going on, and he thought we should make a video about it. So here it is. And the second thing is to ask those people first of all, to thank those people who are still supporting us on Patreon. Thank you very much. Again, you 140 people are the people who, because of you, we can continue to make these videos. So, you know, we got 96,000 subscribers, and we appreciate those people too, but really it's the 140 of you that step up and support us on Patreon that are the ones that are really allow us to continue to spend the time doing this, because those of you who have a family to support and have bills to pay, which is, you know, a lot of you, would understand that spending a couple hours a day, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, on something is very difficult to do when you've got a family support. So the fact that you know, we earn enough from Patreon, it's a sort of like makes that couple hours a day like a part-time job sort of thing, like working in a convenience store for a couple hours a day, which is good. That helps pay the bills and helps us keep making the videos which we want to make. You know, we enjoy it. When we see anything, you know, a beautiful cherry blossom tree, we want to get out the camera and show it to you guys. Check that out. You know, isn't that beautiful? And all those things, the vending machines and everything else, but the other stuff as well, the social stuff, you know, like the halal food and like the prayer room and like the Buddhist temples and the Shinto shrines and the fake Christian church. That was the other thing we showed you, fake Christian churches and the real Christian churches which exist here as well. And, you know, everything. We want to show you everything. We don't want to stop and think, oh, wait a moment, you know, are people going to get upset about this? Because one thing that's really great about Patreon is it allows us to keep making the videos, but it also makes us independent from Google, and that's really become really important because a lot of the videos that we make are not allowed to be monetized because they contain words that Google don't think are advertising friendly. So a lot of those delicate topics that we talk about, you cannot monetize. So anything that the word sex or the word, we tried to actually post something on Reddit recently that was the one about the halal food, and it had Islam and it had halal in the title, and Reddit wouldn't let us post it because it said it was political. And Google's gone a bit the same. Any sort of words that they think might be inflammatory, as far as they're concerned, it's not advertiser friendly. And that means there's a lot of big people on YouTube who have, you know, big view counts, you know, the $1 million YouTube people. Those guys won't make videos about delicate topics because they know if they do, they won't get any money for it. You know, and again, we don't want to be influenced by that. We don't want to think, we can't make a video on that topic because we won't get paid for it. You know, Google won't let us get paid for it. And because really the money that we get from Google now is just, it's 1/10 of what it used to be. You know, it's just become insignificant, really. If we don't get any money from Google now, we really don't care. And to be honest, with those people unsubscribing from our videos, that doesn't really affect us like it used to. You know, the number of subscribers that we had used to be really important because, you know, I mean, it's nice to know people are watching your videos, and as far as paying the bills are concerned, you know, the more subscribers we had, the more we got from Google. Whereas these days, the income that we get from Google is so insignificant now that it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how many subscribers we have. It doesn't really affect our income from Google. It also doesn't affect our motivation either. And there's a certain aspect too, when people say, right, that's it, you know, you shouldn't make videos about that topic, I'm unsubscribing. We don't really sort of mind losing those subscribers terribly much because, you know, because they're being narrow-minded and they're not, you know, we don't mind losing those guys basically. But again, that's only because of the support that we have on Patreon that we can have that attitude. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to afford it. You know, and we see that on YouTube all the time now. People are really careful what they make their videos about because they know that, you know, they'll pay a price. If they make a video about a delicate topic, they'll pay a price. And we've seen the example of that in these reactions we've had over the last couple of weeks. So, in short, to you guys who are still supporting us on Patreon, we really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. To those people who've left kind comments supporting us, you know, spiritually, keep up the good work sort of stuff. We appreciate that as well. Those of you who haven't seen our Patreon page, there'll be a link underneath this video. There's a link under all our videos to the Patreon page. And if you can support us, you know, even just a couple of bucks a month to support the channel and keep the videos going, that'd be great. Because, you know, we love making the videos, but we do have bills to pay, and, you know, if we can't justify that couple of hours a day that we're spending, then, you know, we really can't make the videos. So it's only because of that Patreon support that we can continue to do it. And the cost of these last couple of weeks has meant that we've dropped way below the sort of what we need to justify it. You know, we worked out the amount, just to let you know, the way we worked out our goal on Patreon was we worked out how many hours a month we spend making videos and editing them and shooting them and all the rest of it. You know, it's probably more than a couple hours a day when you add it all up. And we worked it out based on how much we'd earned working in a convenience store in Japan as a part-time job. And then that's how we worked out what the time was worth. So, you know, making videos and earning the same amount of money we'd earn as working part-time in a convenience store, basically. So it's not millionaire money. We're not millionaire YouTubers by any means. We just want to try and justify it, feed our family, pay the bills, and continue to make the videos at the same time. And that helps to do that. So, anyway, there it was, guys. Thank you for your support, and those of you who haven't had a look at it, please have a look at the Patreon page, links underneath this video. More videos coming soon.